We are going to go over tanks. We've got 4 different tanks, which are basically the 4 basic kind of tanks. We've got the iClear 30, which is a top wicked coil. We've got the locking DCT, which is a cartomizer. We've got the Pro 2, which is a glass and stainless steel bottom coil. And then we've got the Vision Eternity, which is basically a drip atomizer. The iClear 30 is a real nice wicked system. It's dual coil, and it's got 16 wicks on it, so you're going to get a lot of flavor out of it. This one comes apart pretty much completely. The top comes off, and so does the bottom. And then you've got the plastic tank. This would be your coil. It screws off very easily from the base of the tank. This is the only part really that you would need to replace. With priming a new tank or a new coil, you would just put the liquid in, from the top, put this guy back on, which also has a swivel tip. It's very cool, feels very comfortable in the mouth. Fill up the tank, take a couple dry puffs off of it before you hit the battery button, and get those wicks nice and saturated. Then you're good to go on the iClear 30. It's a very simple tank, very easy to replace the coil, also very easy to fill. Onto the Pro 2. It's a glass and stainless steel tank. It comes completely apart. You got your drip tip, comes right off. The bottom, where you would put the coil in, comes off completely. The base comes completely off. You have interchangeable glass pieces or replacement glass pieces if necessary. And then you've got your top. Has really good O-rings in both the top and the bottom. Very high quality tank. This is a bottom coil. Very easy to build. Very easy to put the coil in. The setup actually comes with 2 coils. They screw into the base just like this. Put it in through here. Screw it in, and everything that you tighten, you only want to be finger tight. You don't want to over tighten anything because you can mess with threads and also mess with the airflow. Tip goes back on like that. Now with the bottom coil, it's the same concept when you are priming. Just take a couple dry puffs off of it and then go ahead and hit the battery button and you're good to go. The next is the locking DCT, which is one of my favorite cartomizer tanks. The tip comes out. You have a locking plate at the bottom that screws right off, and then you have a locking cartomizer. It has flanges on it and then little slits on the bottom of the tank that fit in perfectly. So it basically has 2 locking features. It has the flange and then the locking plate at the very bottom. Now priming the cartomizer is a little bit different. There's a couple different ways to do it, but I've found that the easiest way, most of your cartomizers when you buy them, they will come with a little rubber piece on the top. What I do is I take my juice, I fill it up almost halfway, take the cartomizer, as you can see that's the top of the cartomizer, put it in like this, flip it over, and push it like a button. A few good times. I try to do about 20 times. You kind of want to saturate that silica that's in there. Once you've got that primed, you'll go ahead and slide it back through. Now, filling this tank is a little bit different as well. You fill from the top, but you want to make sure that you don't get any liquid in the very center of the cartomizer. So you'll actually pull this out about a quarter of the way, put your juice tip in there at an angle, and go ahead and fill it that way. There's a good enough seal at the bottom that you don't have to worry about it leaking when you're filling it. Slide it back through. Make sure that those flanges lock in there nicely with the slits in the bottom. Take your bottom locking plate, screw it on, drip tip, and you're good to go. The Vision Eternity is a real solid tank. It is a drip atomizer. This is the beauty collar, which is not necessary to the unit, but it is also a nice accessory. Drip tip. This is basically a shield, or can be used also as a very small tank. This would be kind of a wicked system, and it actually comes off to your coil and your atomizer right here that is wicked. You can both put juice in and on this part of the unit, and also on this part of the unit. There's holes right at the base of it right there that actually leaks down into where the wicked coil is. It's a very easy, very solid tank, and you get very good flavor off of it. This goes back on. Put your drip tip right back on like that, and you're good to go.